So welcome everybody to Gargiulo and Gin at Sea. This shop has been here since 1852 and this year we're celebrating 161 years. Wow. It's a family business and they're now in the 6th generation, so it holds a lot of history. Now the process of the inlaid woodwork is the speciality here in Sorrento, so I'm just going to take 2 minutes to explain to you the process of how it's made. It starts with the artist drawing a picture or a design like this one here and then colours it in. Sometimes using colours which aren't natural wooden colours. So what they do is when they've coloured these in, they match the veneers, they dye the veneers to the colours in the picture. So if there's a red flower, they dye the whole veneer red. If there's a yellow flower, they dye the whole veneer yellow, and so on, until all the veneers are matched accordingly. They then apply them in a pack of either 12 or 24 veneers, nail them so it's tight and compact, because then they use this saw here. And this is known as the fret saw. The artist will drill a hole through the centre of the pack, dismantle the fret saw, lock it inside and then cut each individual piece out. So the reason for the arch is so they can move around the pack 360 degrees. Once that's done, all the pieces come out looking like this one here. And you can see within there all the different colours that have been used. The artist then separates these pieces one by one and places them into a pan of hot sand. And what that does is it burns away the edge slightly, just enough to give it some shading, a nice colour contrast between the pieces. Can you see just around the edge there, the darkness? Okay, just to give it some colour contrast. Once that's done and all of the pieces that have been cut out, the artist then removes these veneers one by one, leaving yourself now with a base. Because all those tiny pieces that you've just cut out, you're going to put back in, copying the original design, but this time with the wooden pieces. So if you think of it like a jigsaw puzzle, you need a backing. So we use either newspaper or tracing paper, something quite light, not too heavy, and a small amount of heated fish glue so the pieces don't move around at all. Now if I show you through the light, you're going to be able to see this a lot more clearly.
Oh, that's amazing.
Okay, turn it around. So what you're looking at here is now the front, and this is now the back. Because then it gets pressed into what we use is solid seasoned mahogany wood, this wood here. And it gets pressed into the wood for up to 8 weeks, so it's a very long process and they still use the machinery as they did many years ago. And once it's then pressed into the wood, and they also use heat pressing it into the wood as well, this paper is then still on there. So the artist then has to sand the paper off, being extra careful not to touch the veneer or the wood itself, otherwise they have to start again.
Wow.
But once that's done, it's then inlaid into the wood, and that's how it gets its name, inlaid woodwork. They then spray it in polyurethane, and polyurethane helps seal it in there, but also protects it from fire and from water. So just to show you.
I know. Don't light it.
Now this one, as you can see, has a gloss finish, but we do also have it in the matte finish as well. And they have both been sprayed with between 7 or 8 coats of polyurethane, so they're just as strong as each other. The only difference is personal choice, so which one you prefer. And to give you an idea about the timescale involved, this one took just over a year. Take a look at this table here. Now, as I mentioned at the beginning, this is the family business, and the Unitsi family invented this table many generations ago. This one comes off, and you have your chess and checker table. Pop this aside, and you have your card table for all different sorts of card games. This then comes out. And you got your blackjack table.
Wow, that's amazing.
Put that aside. Now all of these pieces have been die cut and inlaid, just like I've showed you. This then slides out.
Oh my God, that's insane.
This then comes out. Pop that aside.
Bingo.
You got your bingo table. Take this out, turn it around. Your backgammon table and your craft table. So around 5.
Wow, that's amazing.